Who's ready to be offended? Yeah! That's what comedians do nowadays. We offend everybody, and everybody gets offended these days. So we're no longer comedians, we are offenders. And you come to be offended, and then you tweet about it, and then, cancel everybody. So welcome to our stand-up offense show. I am Matt Fernandez, and I'm going to MC a little bit and introduce you to our comedian. I usually act and do plays and other things, but this is new to me, so a little bit, I won't tell you. But, I'm trying to explore stand-up comedy. It's new to me, but I learned that there's another stand-up comic named Matt Fernandez that lives in Florida. And another Latino, partially Latino man, I guess. He looks partially Latino, or Latinx, right? I am not fully Latinx. I'm part Latinx, and on my mother's side, I'm part Germix. Okay? Just get the man out of there. I don't know why they just call it Latin. You know, if the Latino or Latina is too much, just say Latin. You don't have to put the X there. But anyway, everybody gets offended these days. Everything is so racist, so fucking racist. Everybody's offended. Even we don't have, we can't have stereotypes anymore. Certain people aren't certain ways. Everybody's offended by it. Everything's so racist. You can say the obvious thing, like, black people have a darker color of skin. So fucking racist. Asian people are Asian. So fucking racist. Mexican people have Mexican babies. So racist. White people spew forth from Satan's dick. No, okay. Pretty good. All right, well, here's just one of those white people. I'm going to introduce our comedian. Let me just tell you this real quick. We are amateurs. This might be the most disappointing night of your life, but we're going to do what we do. And most of what we've done in our lives is disappoint people, so this is just another check mark on the thing. But here is Shannon Post from Peters Creek, Alaska.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming out. How was your bandstand, Did anybody go to the grocery store and fart really loud, forgetting that you're not at home, but realizing that you don't know how to act in public anymore? No? Then me either. I gotta tell you something here. He told me I'm from Peters Creek. I'm originally from Georgia, but now I'm from Peters Creek, Alaska. Let me tell you a little things about Peters Creek. What is our claim to fame? Oh yeah, we have a rock painted like a bug, which is nature's GPS to tell you which way to go when you come off the highway. We have a Chevron station that you go and you get gas and snacks. You trade off that kid for the every other weekend, yeah? And you meet up that sketchy Craigslist poster while you still got some witnesses around. There's some things you'll learn about me as we go on through this little adventure. One of them is, I suck at jokes. Terrible telling stories. Awful at segues. I'm like talking to a drunken 5-year-old. If you ever wanted to question what you've done with your Saturday night. I must say, I've gotten older. I turned 53 this year. Ooh. Now I'm going to tell you, with all the leaks and squeaks, low oil, fluids, faulty GPS, I'm starting to wonder if I'm getting older, if I just turned into a really shitty car. Hi, Gypsy. Gypsy's funnier than I am. Now, some things that you'll learn about me that I've kind of learned as getting older, I wasn't really sure about, but sometimes my friends tell me. One, I don't know how to whisper. Is that weird? What I do is more like what you call a drunken whisper yell. If I were to walk up to somebody and whisper to them, somebody would come up and say, hey, what'd she say to you? It's like, I don't know, she didn't say anything, just real warm. And they said, but it looks like she was talking to you. Yeah, I think she was chewing on the side of my face. Do you have a wipe? Let me give you an example. One time we're walking into Costco. My husband is right here. He's right here, okay? Lady comes out. She's like 15, 20 feet over here. She has a mask on. This was before the pandemic, okay? I look at my husband. I intend to whisper to ask him why she has a mask on. What I say is this: hey! Why's that lady got a mask on? Why do people always wear masks? He goes, oh my God. Do you have any idea how loud that was? Why don't you go ask her? I'm sure she heard you. And she did, because she's 15 feet away, and she stopped and she's staring at me. Even better, the 10 people right here also have stopped and stared at me. What did I do? Shrugged and went inside. I had shit to buy. The second time this happened this is almost embarrassing to say, but here we go. A friend of mine, who I haven't heard from since that day, invited my daughter and I to go to a film festival out in the valley a few years back. We're way back in the Right Hand of God section, okay? I'm sitting there and I'm watching some of these films. Amazing. Beautiful cinematography. Nice visual. Oh, it was incredible until it wasn't. I am watching this thing. It is the worst piece of crap I've ever seen. I can't believe you didn't screen it, did you? You just like sent it out there into the world with nobody to tell you this is a bad freaking idea. So I look at my friend and I say, I'd rather set myself on fire than watch the rest of this piece of shit. The people behind me start laughing. My daughter says, Mother, she's behind me. My friend who is right here says, again, do you have any idea how loud that was? Well, if I'd known, I wouldn't have said it like that. And then I hear, the director's right there. I have yet to see another film festival in the valley. I think I might be on a poster. Another thing that I've noticed is I go into public and then I get pissed off when public shows up. I went shopping one day, take my cart, turn down the aisle thinking it's unoccupied. There are like 15 people standing on there. What do I say? Oh, what the hell? And then I got really intent about a box of pasta. There were people looking at me. I had a very wonderful rigatoni that night. I've also noticed that my mind is like a screen door. I can't remember anything short-term. Long-term memories? Oh yeah, I got those on lock. Those are the ones that hit you, and they're always embarrassing, and they hit you like 4 o'clock in the afternoon while you're sitting in traffic. It's that, oh God damn, oh. What I forget is people's names. You woke up, hi, I'm John, nice to meet you. What's your name again? And I'm not smart enough just to let it go, all right? I have to sit there and go, oh, I know, I just met you, but I don't remember your name because I never intended on talking to you again. Half the time I say something and somebody says something, I go, yeah, who said that? They're like, you did. Oh, fuck. I will go into a store, and I'm in about 4 minutes in, and the only thing I can tell you about where my car is that it's outside. My husband met me at the store one time, and he says, hey, honey, where did you park? And I'm like, Your chariot awaits you in the realm beyond the sliding doors. He said, Shannon, where did you park the car? I don't know. Another thing I learned about myself, and you'll love this one, I have a tiny head. My friends have told me this before, but I don't really listen to them because my friends are dicks. I learned this when I was, again, in Costco, because I decided to take up this stupid sport of cross-country skiing, okay? And I needed one of those ninja mask things. What are they called? Balaclavas? Is that what they're called? See? That tells you how much I go outside in the wintertime. I don't even know how to pronounce the thing that I need. So I'm standing in Costco, and there's a whole display of them, right? And I'm sitting there, and there's a lady who's like right here. She's like right there. She's right there. And I went, small, medium, large, extra large. Oof, extra large, that poor bastard. And I'm like, I wonder, out loud, talking to my damn self, I said, I wonder what size I need. Small. You have a tiny head. That's so I mean, my friends, maybe I should listen. I mean, they're still assholes, but I'm saying maybe, okay, it fits fine. I notice as I've gotten older that my temperament and my patience is really wearing thin, okay? I'm the person that goes somewhere, I stand in line, I'm in the line for 10 seconds, and I'm like, the lady in front of me could go, I've been here since yesterday, and I'll be like, been here since yesterday? And God forbid somebody talks to me, oh, how you doing? Oh, no, no. They're over there, okay? And everybody, as far as my temperament, it's, you have that one thing that triggers you, right? And it sends you into a tailspin, and then you come right back down, right? And I mean, I know you've heard of maybe you've seen on social media, your temper goes from 0 to death row really quickly. Right? For me, it's a rock hitting my windshield, all right? And I'm assuming that that's kind of the same way for everybody, right? I'm pretty sure a preacher would summon Satan himself to eliminate the person in front who would dare send a rock into the divine windshield. Mothers full of kids, minivans full of children. And the wheels on the bus go round and clink. You piece of shit! Get out of the rock line, you asshole! Your mother hates you, and the wheels on the bus go round. My husband and I, in a few weeks, will have been married 30 years. You don't know. And my husband looked at me, he looked at me one day and he said, Shannon, can you believe we've been married 30 years? Does it feel like 30 years? And I said, oh God, yes. And judging from his reaction, that was the inappropriate response to that question. But it's funny to watch people who have been married a short time, the short timers. And then you watch the people who have been married a long time, like my husband and I. Let's take furniture shopping, for example. The short timers. Oh my God, I don't care. I just want you to be happy, I want you to be comfortable. The long timers. Hey! What about this one? I don't care. They find out what kind of furniture you've got when it shows up at the house. Let's say the salesperson is trying to sell somebody a nice pillow for their new bed.
Please silence your cell phone.
just gonna take it. Now she's.
Ask them if they want to come over.
Yeah, on that person's day.
So we'll say the salesperson walks up to the newlyweds. Here's a pillow. Oh, just you try it. Is it soft? I want you to be nice and comfy. I don't want you to have a headache in the morning. The long timers, the salesperson. Here's a pillow. Yeah, I'm sure it's great. What I want to know is, if I were to push it down onto something, the unmarried salesperson, oh, you're so silly. The long-termer, and then they give you one of those thick NASA plastic bags that are roughly the size of a full-sized adult. Weird. This is something I wanted to put in here because it's very important. You need to listen. I fucking hate celery. I fucking hate it. People will put it in food and they say, and I take it out and they're offended. And I'm like, hey, I don't like it. They're like, but you can't taste it. Then why do you put it in there? and I want to tell you something. You might not know this. I want to tell you something. Now listen, there are people probably dressed as clowns, because you might as well just go ahead and make the nightmare real, that grow celery on purpose. And they send it to places for people to sell it to other people. Do you know where celery comes from? It comes from hell. It's cultivated in hell. And it's irrigated with Satan's ball sweat. Don't argue with me on this. At some time every day, Satan puts down his paper and he walks out there and he just irrigates. And sometimes he takes a handful of sweat and he throws it over there to celery's asshole brother, cilantro. Do you put celery in your Bloody Mary? Well, you might as well throw the glass away because you've ruined it. Do you put, they say, oh, put cream cheese on your celery. Why would you want to ruin cream cheese? Oh, you know what, Shannon? Put peanut butter on it with raisins and call it ants on a log. You just told me to put ants on peanut butter on celery and you named it bugs on yard waste. Do you ever hear yourself? You should be ashamed. All of you. Now guys, this next story, we're coming towards the end. And I have been dying to tell this story. And I am so fucking weird about telling it in front of Matt's mom. I started telling the story one day at work. My coworkers, Emily and Maria, were there. And I need to start this off by, and my son knows it's coming. Is there anyone in here that does not know what teabagging is? Please, Matt's mom, don't raise your hand. Okay. So, I started telling a story at work. I don't give any warning that it's coming. I just start blurting things out. You know? So I look at Maria. Emily's over on the other side of the partition. Maria's like right here. So I told him, I said, okay, so one day I was making myself a cup of tea. I take the tea bag out and I was going to throw it away, but I decided I was going to do something else with it. So I rinse it off and I dry it out. And then I look across the room and my daughter, who's pretending to do her homework, knows something's about to go down. She wants to be a part of it. I see her shift her weight toward her outside foot in case I go down the hallway. And I do. She's so close behind me, if I were to stop, she'd be in front of me. I get to my son's bedroom door where he's had a rousing game of Xbox Live. I open the door, I lean in, I take the tea bag, and I bounce the tea bag off the side of his face. To which he says on Xbox Live, "Mom, stop teabagging me." Xbox Live falls silent. And an uproarious laughter. After I tell this story, I hear Emily on the other side of the partition laughing. I look at Maria, head tilted, quizzical look. Nothing. It was in this moment that I realized Maria didn't know what teabagging was. Something happens to you when you're about to explode someone's worldview. You hang on to that. So I look at Maria and I say, "Maria, do you know what teabagging is?" "No, Shannon." "Would you like me to tell you?" "Yes." Other side of the partition. Emily can no longer laugh. She is making me sound. You're starting to wonder if you should call a code, but you're like, and then you hear go, "Oh shit," and you actually So I look at Maria and I say, "Okay, Maria, teabagging," I'm so sorry about smoking. Teabagging is when you have an inebriated, unconscious male. God, get over some male. You have an equally inebriated, conscious male. The conscious male walks up to the unconscious male. Matt? This sucks so bad right now. He unzips his pants, removes his genitalia, and rubs it on the forehead, chin, cheek, bridge of nose on the unsuspecting victim. I think this is pretty much gonna do it. I look at Maria. I don't know how to go from here. Okay, Maria, here we go again. You have a sleep guy. And you have a wake guy. And he goes up and he takes out the hang downs, the scrotum, the testes, the scrot, the business. And he rubs it about the person's face. And if you want to go textbook, the unsuspecting victim will have his mouth open. So they take the ball, step astride, sleeping guy's mouth, and dip them in. I look at Maria. All right. Here. I grab something. I work in healthcare. I mean, God, it's all off the table at this point. I don't even know what I picked up. It wasn't balls, but I don't know what it was I picked up. So I sit there and I say, okay, I'll demonstrate. And I hear him like, I gotta see this. She comes tearing around the partition. I put my head back. I said, "These are the nuts. These are the balls, the scrotal sac, okay? I mean, I don't know how to explain this to you." I lay my head and she takes it and rubs it on my face. We look at Maria. Like slate man. I open my mouth. Same thing. Hang downs. Emily dips it in my mouth. We stare at Maria for a second. All of a sudden, holy shit. It hit her like a lightning bolt. Oh my God, oh shit, her chair rocked back. I thought we were gonna lose her. And I said, "Are you okay?" She goes, "No." The fact that she didn't quit that day. It's just fucking amazing to me. But so the moral to the story, is don't get drunk and pass out around your friends, because the days of just waking up with dicks drawn on your face are long gone. All right, guys, that's it for me.
I'm supposed to say now.
Now maybe you can save us from that
Yeah.
shit show.
I tell you, Satan's genitalia is getting a lot of play today. All right, unexpectedly. Thank you, Shannon. Give it up for Shannon again, please. You're so good and you're so calm. I'm about to, I've already pissed myself. All right. Well, I wanted to say before I begin that doing stand-up is a lifelong dream of mine that I finally get to do at the age of 42. I have been watching since before I should have been allowed to watch them. I've been watching Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and George Carlin, and all those guys. And I always wanted to be like that and do stand-up like that. But I just didn't have material for so long until I got married, until I got cancer. And actually, Shannon and I are both cancer survivors, believe it or not. Now they'll definitely laugh. God, I'm gonna die. And I had children, so now I have a ton of material. But I must say, I don't know if I'm funny or not. I'm not sure, and I might not be. But I also, from my childhood, I have a stuttering problem. And it usually comes out in situations like this. So I figured it's going to sound funny no matter what. And you'll laugh just like all those kids did when I was a kid. Anyway. All right. Well, goddamn, it is hot out in Alaska. Jeez Louise. I was actually driving with my kids, and I was reminding them of when it was 15 below zero. And for some reason, we let them go outside in 15 below, and immediately they, as they froze, they let us know not to ever do that again. But I said to them, girls, it's like 80 degrees outside. And I said, do you remember when it was 15 below? That was 95 degrees less than it is today. Can you believe it was that cold around here? Fairbanks weather. I don't have a punchline for that. I just thought it was an interesting math problem. But man, it is hot, and it's not winter anymore. People are changing the way that they've dressed. They're all dressing, the coats are off and everything, and they are out. You know what I mean? The guts are out. Yep, gets 9 degrees above 40, and the guys take their shirts off. Sometimes I think they're just, and the guts are out. And they're ready to show you what they've been working on all winter at the brewery. That's right. Have you seen these motherfuckers walking down the street with no shirts on, horrible bodies? They take the shirt off, rip it off. And they go outside, and the sun, they're white, so the sun reflects off the white skin. Neighbors around them dying like vampires. They're out there. I don't think they're proud. And they might not give a shit. They might have just given up. Or they might just be hot. You know what I mean? And they're out there walking around. You see them walking around? Big old gut sticking out. And I thought, either it's got to be really hot, or I got to be really hot to be walking around with a shirt off. I don't even know, though. If I had a six-pack, that's kind of douchey, just kind of... It's never too hot for a t-shirt for me, you know what I mean? Like, I can handle one sliver of cloth. You know what I mean? I don't have to show everybody what, a six-pack. I don't have a six-pack, okay? I drink beer. I like beer. But I work out. So I run and I drink beer, so my body's all fucked up. I got, stuff that's burning, stuff that's hot, and all this stuff. Usually it's good until you get down low and it's like, oh shit. But anyways, I have like a 4-pack with like a blanket layer. Like in the backseat of your truck, a 4-pack, and like a growler here. It's a 30, it was a 64, I worked it down to a 32 ounce, but you got motherfuckers with caves walking around, jiggling and stuff, and you drive by. Who has not seen these people? Am I the only one? Raise your hand, have you seen these men walking around with their shirts off, with their guts hanging out, playing hacky sack and shit, with their guts? And it made me think, this isn't too loud, is it? Okay. It made me think, what? The thing that annoys me about people who live up here in Alaska is that they don't act like they live in Alaska. You know what I mean? I used to live in California for almost a year. Down in California, at least 9 years ago, there's they got beaches, and it's the culture, right? Shirts off, bikinis, and all stuff, and everybody looks good because they know they gotta look good for everybody else, or look good for each other, whatever. And so they work out, they eat right, they do yoga and all this stuff, Pilates. That's all. And they do that also because they don't have 9 months of winter like we do, right? There's a place called Venice Beach. You ever been there? Venice Beach, California. Actually has an outdoor gym, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger's been there. And, everybody, not now, it's probably full of transients and stuff, lifting weights, I guess. But then, you had like people, and they just had the greatest bodies, and they would show it off, and that's California, right? Men just huge and pecs. The sun won't even burn them. The pecs just send the sun, burn the sun back. Even the breasts on women had muscles, Walk up to a woman, she could just pop in the face. The breasts. Muscular breasts. They look like an angry face. They are not appealing, They look mad at you. I'm sorry for everything I did. Alright, anyway. Don't show me your angry breasts, honey. I don't want to see that. Anyway, so that's my problem. You gotta know where you live, okay? Even some of the women walking around with, bikini tops here in Anchorage. And I'm thinking, honey, there are more mosquitoes here than any place else in the United States. You're like a smorgasbord for those things. They're gonna be all around you like, hey, I think there's some room around the bitch's navel here. They're just, know where you live. Just be Alaskan. We got gangs up here. Gang members in Alaska. How the fuck did you get up here? How did you get up here? Stay home. We don't need gang members up. It's fucking cold. What are you gonna do? You're a gang member. There's like 10 people to shoot in the population, right? What do you do as a gang member? Know where you live. It bugs me because this is Alaska. We're flannel people. We're extra tough people. We're hunters and fishermen or Wemixen or whatever. We're fisher people, right? We hunt. We have cabins. We are getting away from some crime we did out in the lower 48. That's the kind of people we are. We're mushers, right? 9 months out of the year, it's cold. What are you going to do as a gang member? I've seen Training Day. I've seen, Menace to the Boys and whatever. I've seen, basically what I have seen is mostly these guys hang around outside with their shirts off, guns in there, and they're drinking Colt 45 outside. What the fuck are you going to do in November? You're going to have a venti latte from Starbucks and shit? How do you look tough when you're just like, with your teeth chattering and your knees knocking? How are you supposed to be tough? How are you supposed to guard your turf? Maybe they hibernate for the winter. They're like bears, you know. They hibernate, and then once spring comes, they come out and shoot somebody, kill somebody, just like the bears do. There you go. I don't know how you do it. So maybe they just hang around in somebody's house and just look out the window and shit, looking for somebody in their turf. Got hot cocoa and marshmallows and shit. Just look, hey, isn't that motherfucker over there? Oh yeah, I know that bitch. Yeah, what the fuck is he doing? Hey man, let's go fuck him up. Let's go fuck him up. All right, yeah. Whoa, hey, no, wait. No man, look. There's a mama moose and 2 babies out there. No. One stomped Chicho last year. I don't know what their names are. Shit. Anyway, just know where you live. I hope there's no gang members in the audience. Like, I know where you're not gonna live. Thank you. Anyways, I don't know, people. Well, we had Easter not too long ago, and my kids, they're at an age now where it's kind of, where you can do the fun things. My twins are 3, my older daughter is 5, and so now they all kind of understand things, and this is where you get to do the fun stuff, And, so we did an Easter egg hunt. And I noticed, we did it at Granny and Papa's house, and I noticed the Easter egg hunt wasn't like the Easter egg hunts when I was a kid. My kids are hunting for plastic eggs with candy and money and treats inside. We hunted for hard-boiled eggs. And we were excited about it. What the fuck was wrong with us? Our childhoods were the most disappointing thing ever. I think that was a way for my parents and our parents to teach us that life isn't really all that you think it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, you paint an egg, and we fought, siblings, we fought with other kids. Oh, no, I got it. And you didn't get the egg, and another kid did, got it, but the other kid didn't get it, crying, And then you come, and then you crack open a piece of protein, just a hard-boiled egg. That is the blandest food you could ever capture. That's not a game for children. That's not an activity for kids. That's for like weightlifters and shit. Like, hey, I have another egg, just put in my fanny pack, Like that's you can make a CrossFit game out of that. Or, like a CrossFit exercise out of that. Just hunting for protein. Hunting for eggs. But that's what we did. Now my kids get candy and everything. I don't know. So, Elon Musk. So, I don't know if he bought Twitter. Twitter is like the Twitter of Palmer or something. I may invade the Twitter. Yeah, I say Twitter. Send me a Twitter. I Twitter hashtag. Twitter. He almost bought Twitter. I don't think he's bought it yet. He's kind of messing with it. Can you imagine having that much money? That's more than fuck you money. That's fuck corporation. I can't imagine what a life to live to actually be that rich. That much, where you could tell a corporation, you could just fuck with it. Just, hey, it's like a yo-yo, he's playing with them. It's crazy. We don't have that power. Gosh, dang. But he says, so I'm not going to talk about that, but I'm going to talk about, he said a while ago, and he kind of says it often, that robots are going to take over and get smart enough and kill the human race. And I'm apt to believe him. Because I treat Siri like a piece of shit. Anybody else? I never have talked to a human being, a living, not even an animal, the way I talk to Siri. It's bad, and it just comes out. It's like it's already there. Like Ike Turner is there. It's there, ready to come out and speak. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And I can't help it because she messes up all the time. She makes mistakes all the time. And my wife makes mistakes. I don't treat her like this. Trust me. My kids make mistakes. I don't yell like this. But if I tell her to call Dad and she calls Dan. I'm like, I said Dan, you fucking whore! It's crazy. One time I yelled at Siri and so loud that she like folded in on each other, like on herself, I'm sorry, and like shut off. Like I made the cell phone shut off, like it was an abuse victim or something. You know, I just yelled at her. I'm the same way with all robots in my life. The vacuum, like, get the fuck out of here. Go the wrong way, asshole. You get stuck again, I'm gonna kick your ass again, you piece of shit. Seriously, this is not a joke. I am this way with, I kick these motherfuckers. I don't treat anybody like this, but the robots. Could you imagine if I had the robot from the Jetsons living with me? I'd be like Jake LaMotta. I'd be like, hey, my fucking steak ready yet? Hey, come on, looks like a piece of Chaco. Bring it over here. You know, about a steak? How about a steak? You know, crazy. Hit me, come on, face. Anyway, so I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just so. Aren't you just so frustrated these days, huh? Everyone seems frustrated and pissed. I can't help it. I'm pissed. I'm just frustrated all the time. Everything just pisses me off, and I don't know why. We have the most stuff and the most access to stuff than we ever have in the history of humankind. Everything's easy, everything's accessible. Except for Yukon TV. No. They don't want us to watch television anymore. Like, fucking read a book, goddammit. At least we won't shut up on me. No, but everything's so accessible. Why are we so angry? Why are we so mad? I'm mad. I don't know what it is. And I noticed it started to happen. There are two things that made me really, really mad, or made me just edgy, was getting sick and having kids. Now, I love my kids. My kids are actually, there's nothing wrong with them. There's something wrong with me, because kids are just a mirror, you know? They show you all the bullshit that you've just been stuffing and tucking down, and you're a good person. I used to pray more. I used to have more faith. I don't have any of that now. I'm just pissed. I'm angry. I'm burnt out. I gotta take care of my kids all the time, and they try to kill us. I believe this. Kids are trying to kill their parents. They don't want to. They love you, but somehow they're like, they are just doing it. All the shit that I step on the floor. God damn. I started to rate it. I'm like, so what? Legos are really bad. Does anybody have kids here? Anybody step on Legos? Okay.
Legos are the worst.
Legos, right? My kids have these, you know how we used to have like little army men? My kids have princesses, right? With like the pointy hats and the pointy crowns, standing straight up. It won't go through your foot, it'll just indent your foot. Like my foot will look like the princess, you know, that much pain. God, it hurts. One time I haven't done the splits since I was 6 years old. I stepped on some piece of plastic, just, you know. My balls were holding on like Spider-Man holding on to that train. He's like, hey! Seriously. Kids are trying to kill you. The kids, so the twins are 3, so they're like the same age. They'll do this thing where they're standing right behind me. Have you ever had this? And you back up and, oh shit, you know, and you almost step, and I looked over, and like there was a toy set there that was like a sharp thing, like I was about to impale myself on this. I had to like force a hard on just to like even it out on the other side. I almost killed myself. When you do that, you'll never be erect again, I tell you that. You force that, no more improv for that. Anyways, so I don't understand it. And it's just, everything just frustrates me. Customer service, have you noticed customer service has gone down? Like, God damn it, how hard is it? How hard is it to do certain jobs? I don't know why people have to move slow. We never move slow. I never move slow in my job. I'm a Fernandez, all right? The name translates into manual labor, okay? I work. Fernandez is work. We work. I used to work customer service at Blockbuster Video. Back when they had tapes, there was only one little section of DVDs, but my job was to do this thing called puts, right? So that's where you turn in your tape, it goes down into the thing, you pull it out, you line all the tapes up, you get them alphabetical, and you check them to see if they're rewound. And if they're not, you put them in the rewinder, because Blockbuster didn't charge you if you didn't rewind. So they just did it for free. And then you make a big stack, you run out there and put all the tapes back where they go. Man, they always picked me for this job. I was going for the record. They actually had a record. There was another guy somewhere, probably in Florida, named Matt Fernandez, doing the same thing. And they'd say, Fernandez, I'll do that. And I come down there and just grab a whole thing of tapes in one thing, line them up, alphabet, and open them up, check for the alphabetical order. I was like, and I lifted a whole tower this tall, and I run out there, and I put these tapes up. This is back over here. Put them up. I was the fastest. Now you got this shit. Costco. How hard can Costco be? All right, food service at Costco. You got 4 items on the menu, and it's already cooked. All you gotta do is turn. It's right behind you. Hot dog and a pizza. Hot dog's right there. Get a bun. Get a hot dog. Put it in the bun. Pizza. Slice of pizza. This wouldn't take long. But you got this, and it's not just Costco, it's just everywhere. It's just I'm like, why can't you move fast, people? Why can't you just move fast? What? How hard is it? These are the same people that'll leave that job, go to the gym. Work out here, man. Go fast. I don't get it. You know the reason what I think is added to the low customer service? It's the legalization of marijuana. God damn, I tell you, they're all high. That's what I assume of everybody. If anybody's slow, anybody gives me bad customer service, you're high on pot. Even at the church, you were slow with me, you're high. You're doing drugs, doing marijuana. Everybody's slow. Marijuana. So you're not supposed to call it cannabis, or marijuana, you're supposed to call it cannabis now, because marijuana is too racist. Called marijuanics or something. Marijuanics, but it's called cannabis, which I think is kind of a funny word. Could you imagine a auctioneer buying cannabis at a store? Can I buy cannabis? Can I buy cannabis? Can I buy cannabis? Can I buy? Oh, I get high, you know? Can I buy cannabis? In 2020, so I tried to get my vacuum fixed right after the pandemic began. If you remember 2020, there were two excuses for everything: COVID and Trump. Those were the 2 words added to the Tourette syndrome vernacular of that year. Everyone was just walking around, COVID, Trump, COVID, 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 Trump, COVID, Trump, COVID, 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 Trump, COVID, 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 Trump, COVID, COVID, Trump, right? How you doing, Phil? COVID, COVID, Trump, COVID, Trump, COVID, COVID, Trump, COVID, COVID, Trump. So I called, and this is another thing about customers, I can't call anybody anymore, right? It's all, you gotta go on the website and all this stuff, and if you do get to call them, they just lead you back to the website. So, had to send an email. And the email, it's like I need a new part for my dice, blah, 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 blah. And they basically said they couldn't do it because of COVID. They said, narrowing it down, they basically said, you're fucked. COVID, COVID, Trump, COVID, COVID, Trump, COVID, Trump. Couldn't believe it. I think the problem is they legalized the wrong drug. They should have legalized cocaine. Our economy would be booming. You remember the 1980s? Everybody was on cocaine. We had the highest 90s, I had a teacher who was a pothead. Literally. She was, don't upstage me. The dog's always upstaged. I had a teacher who was, oh, hold on. There, it's on. I had a teacher who was a pothead, right? And she, whenever she was high, this is at Service High School, whenever she was high, she would tell us to sit. She was an English teacher. She'd tell us to sit down, and she put in all these chick flicks like Untamed Heart and Betty and June. We just sit and watch this shit while she's toasted, right? And she would, I mean, back not in the 80s, we had teachers on cocaine like, read page 400 to 900, you know, like, they just give you big assignments, and the school, you know, the education was amazing because everybody was on cocaine that taught you. They were just getting you there, yeah, keep all the information, they were excited, no one was floating around. They were fast. Even the President of the United States was snorting cocaine. Do you remember those addresses he would give? My fellow Americans, oh, it's going to be morning in America. You know what I mean? Everybody was on cocaine. And then we turned it into crack. And the economy went down. And it fell right in Bill Clinton's lap. Which is not the first time crack has fallen in Bill Clinton's lap, as the children's books normally tell us. Folks, I got a couple more things to say. And I really appreciate you. This is exhilarating to do this in front of all of you. This is the best I've ever done. Because mostly you do stand-up at open mics, and they're like, you got 30 seconds to say something funny. I'm like, I can't, you know. I'll just stutter, you know. I'll just stutter the whole time. But they, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I know there's board members in the audience, and now you're going to be like, I know what you really are, but we're at the board meetings, you know. And I apologize, I really do. But I used to think men were grosser than women. And then I got married. And I learned about this thing that women, apparently, because my wife was educating me, constantly do. It's called discharge. And I likened it to, it's almost like a dishwasher that's just on the whole time, just cleaning it out. Constantly, man, look, the woman next to you could be discharging. And it's very much, and what a word, discharge. You get discharged from the military. That's a heavy thing, discharge. I discharge. Men don't do that. We're all closed up and compact, and everything's inside. All your insides are on that. You're like the Sarlacc pit from Return of the Jedi. It's an open living thing. Digest it for 1,000 years. So, I don't know. I also learned this. When my wife got pregnant, I swear I never want to show her this video of this stand-up. But I learned this, and this, I don't think this happened to my wife, but we were in our birthing class for our first kid. And we learned a bunch of stuff and everything like that. But the one thing that stuck with me was they said, before a woman's water breaks, a cork falls out of her body and bounces around on the floor, spinning. And I was like, where'd the cork come from? She makes it out of her own mucus. Really? You do that too? I'm still getting over the fact that women take a shit. That's how naive I am. I am, ladies, I'm naive. I'm just dumb guy. So seriously, I just didn't know things. I was so fucking stupid. I thought the umbilical cord was the woman's belly button connecting to the girl's belly. Oh, how does that even work? Fucking moron! I do not deserve a woman, that's for sure. Folks. Last thing I want to talk about is my favorite cuss word. And how I learned the true meaning of it. But my favorite cuss word is motherfucker. I love it because has so much timbre in it. You know, I have like ba 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 ba, you know, motherfucker, ba ba ba, or you can use it, you know, motherfucker, like that. Or you can use it slow, like motherfucker. And if you say it like that, the person next to you is like, what? Because you know something seriously going on. One time I called somebody a motherfucker, and they said, "Don't talk about my mother like that!" And I thought, what? Oh, is that what that means? It means coitus with your mother? I'd never say that to a person. That was the most horrible thing to call somebody. Somebody who does that with their mother? That's horrible. I never call somebody that. I just thought motherfucker meant that I was a husband and a father, you know? My wife's a mother, right? I just thought once I had kids, I'm like, I'm a motherfucker now. Yeah, you know. Walking around and see my other friends with, hey, motherfucker, how you doing? Hey, motherfucker. I'm a motherfucker, you know. So now that I know what it means, it's horrible, but I still use it in my own truth. Okay. All right, folks. Shannon, come on up here again. That's it for me. This was Shannon's idea. She was in our Christmas show, Happy Christmas Jeeves, and directed by John and I. And Gypsy did a starring appearance in one of the performances, as she normally does. Anyways, I just have to say, you're a real professional. Me, I'm just, this is me just saying shit. This is cheaper than therapy for me, all right? I just need to talk to somebody, you know? Talk, not pay a lot of money. So, anyways, I thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. You want to say anything?
No.
Well, thank you for coming, and I think we're trying to get a show together, you know, the cancer survivors comedy show. Anyway,
September.
and sometime in September, we're working it out with Main Events Grill down the road. It's not for sure yet, but they're going to advertise for us, and they're going to do a big thing. And this time you have to pay for beer and wine. Anyways, thank you so much.
Thank you.